From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Today, British authorities arrested Wikileaks founder Julian Assange. Police entered the embassy and arrested Assange on behalf of the United States of America. This comes nearly 7 years since the Wikileaks founder Julian Assange sought refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Ecuador revoked his asylum, and boom, the law got the man. You can't outrun the long arm of the law. No, you can't outrun the long arm of the law. The U.S. federal court unsealed an indictment charging Assange with a single count of conspiracy to hack a classified Defense Department computer. Assange is accused of conspiring in 2010 with Chelsea Manning. Now, back in 2010, Chelsea was Bradley Manning, a U.S. Army intelligence analyst engaged in helping Assange crack a password so that he could illegally obtain secret U.S. military and diplomatic documents whose dissemination could take down the United States of America. Wow, I didn't realize it. Geez, it's higher stakes than I thought. One of Assange's attorneys said that Assange would fight extradition to the United States. She called these actions against him a dangerous precedent for all news media, which I didn't even realize it was considered news media. I know it's information. It's naughty information. Meanwhile, in President Trump, in Washington, President Trump, in Trumpland, he was asked if he still loved WikiLeaks, to which the president responded, "It's not my thing." What? The man is on tape several times, probably close to 100, saying that he loves WikiLeaks. How much he loves WikiLeaks. And I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere there's a tape saying, "I love WikiLeaks so much, there's no one that loves it quite as much as I do because I got the biggest love for WikiLeaks." But now he says it's not his thing. And he goes to say that it's in the hands of the Attorney General, who's doing a hell of a job right now. Oh, is he? Is he doing a great job? What's he doing a great job on right now, Trump-a-rooney? It sounded to me like he was telling the press right then and there that any further questions of Julian Assange should be brought up with his lawyer, William Barr. And then he also said, this is quotes, "I know nothing really about it. It's not my deal in life." Now, I guess saying it's not my deal in life is a nice loophole, because whose deal in life is any one thing? The Russian government accused Britain of strangling freedom, which is an audacious claim by Russia, who I believe has their arm elbow deep in the throat of freedom. I don't know, does that choke it? Does that strangle it? By taking custody of Assange, they're saying that freedom is at stake. Now, WikiLeaks has used the arrest as a fundraising opportunity on Twitter, even going so far as to evoke the deep state conspiracy. Now, I was surprised to hear that Edward Snowden even chimed in and says, Assange's critics may cheer, but this is a dark moment for press freedom. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to do some more research, because I am stunned to hear Snowden say this. The current indictment of Assange is in no way related to WikiLeaks' involvement in the 2016 elections, but who knows what might come around in the next 7 years. Maybe somebody will ask a question or two, because I'm sure that Assange has an answer or two, or maybe even 3. I don't know, just some answers. Washington attorney Gregory B. Craig, who served as White House counsel for President Barack Obama, was charged today with lying to federal officials. He was indicted for work he did with recently incarcerated Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort was recently convicted for financial crimes, and he's behind bars, but the golden touch of Paul Manafort goes far beyond millions of dollars in tax fraud. The man's a son of a bitch. If you really want to learn more on Paul Manafort, I would suggest that you take a listen to the podcast Behind the Bastards, which, full disclosure, I was recently a guest on the show. It's not Paul Manafort's one, but I just recorded it yesterday. It'll be coming out next week. But Behind the Bastards with Robert Robert Evans, I highly suggest you check out the podcast, and specifically if you're interested in information on Paul Manafort, look for that episode. It's actually 2 episodes, but check it out. So here's what happened with Greg Craig. Greg Craig, that's a fun name to say. During the Mueller special counsel investigation, Paul Manafort was an early target. Paul Manafort was super deep into the Ukraine politics, and at some point in time, Greg Craig had a firm named Skaden. Greg Craig. I don't know if I can get enough saying Greg Craig. Greg Craig's firm took $4 million to write a 187-page report on behalf of the Ukrainian government to whitewash some shady stuff that was happening in Ukraine and protect then-leader Viktor Yanukovych. Now, the report was put together at the behest of Greg Craig's law firm. So, the indictment is about whether Greg Craig should have registered as an agent of a foreign government for this money he was taking. The law says, yeah, he probably should have. And then when asked about it, he lied to the special counsel's office while they were questioning him regarding their investigation into Paul Manafort, which is a big boo-boo. Oops to the doops, right, G? Mueller's team was like, hey, Greg Craig, we see that your firm has created this report. You want to, I don't know, register as a foreign agent? And Greg Craig refused and, well, lied about it too. So off to jail you go. Another Skaden lawyer, Alex Vanderswan, pled guilty in 2018 to lying to the FBI about his work on the report. He agreed that he had slipped an early copy to Manafort to assist him in his pro-Yanukovych lobby efforts and later deleted emails related to the effort in an attempt to cover it up. Oops! He served 30 days in prison. Not sure how long Greg Craig will serve for his involvement. Greg Craig is the first Democrat to be indicted in the fallout of the special counsel investigation. Greg Craig. The National Inquirer, a nearly 100-year-old tabloid that dishes on celebrity controversies, are having a controversy of their own. Now, yesterday it was announced that it's up for sale by American media. Earlier this year, Jeff Bezos came forward with proof accusing the publication of attempting to extort him, before it was revealed that the publication was involved in killing embarrassing stories about Donald Trump. American media said Wednesday that it would unload the weekly imminently. They are buried in debt, and despite being a staple of supermarket checkout aisles for decades, the Enquirer's circulation is sliding. Now, Chatham Asset Management is the principal owner of the publisher, which is run by Anthony Melanquier. Now, he came forward this week and said that he has grown increasingly disgusted with the reporting tactics at the Enquirer. That's pretty shocking, since the whole entire idea of a tabloid magazine is to spread rumors and dirt about famous people. How low can you go? Pretty low, and apparently low enough to discuss Tony over here to the point of an all-out fire sale of the company. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is reportedly meeting with federal prosecutors in New York this week. He believes the Saudi government was involved in hacking his phone, which is what led to the extortion, coupled with the National Inquirer story about his extramarital affair. This suggests that the United States Attorney's Office is taking that claim very seriously. It's not clear whether federal prosecutors have independent evidence to corroborate the stories that Jeff has said about the Saudis hacking Bezos' phone, or if there's any connection to the Enquirer's story on his affair. Now, prosecutors are also looking into claims that the National Inquirer attempted to extort Bezos. Now, their beef with Bezos is that they wanted his private investigator to lay off disclosing information about a stupid dinner that took place with American media owner David Pecker, President Trump, and an unnamed man with ties to the Saudis. That kind of makes it all make sense in the big scheme of things. Now, this whole Bezos blow-up could have violated a non-prosecution agreement that American media had struck last year with prosecutors while in the Mueller investigation. Now, as part of that non-prosecution agreement, an agreement not to prosecute them, American media officials admitted to their involvement in hush-money scheme to influence the 2016 presidential election by silencing a woman who had come forward and claimed that there was an affair with then-candidate Donald Trump. They agreed not to commit any more crimes for 3 years. but then they committed more crimes. So oops to the dupes. What next?